Gamers and gentlefolk, hello and welcome back to the stream. Happy to have you all here on this lovely day for an excellent cause. This stream is going to take a look at the Girls Gank Squad charity fundraising tournament to benefit the Trevor Project. The Trevor Project is a life-saving organization for LGBTQIA+ youth. Their primary goal is suicide prevention, but they also do a whole lot more in the form of advocacy and research, and you can find out all about all of their initiatives with the !Trevor chat in command. A little bit about the way that donations work for the stream. All donations, which are tracked on screen here on that lower bar, all the donations will go to support the Trevor Project. It's 100% of the proceeds. And everyone who donates is entered to win giveaway prizes. We've got a list of those giveaway prizes below the stream, so you can check those out there. And those will be given away every time we reach those milestones. So please, if you can, give what you can to help the fantastic work that the Trevor Project does. A little bit about the series here. It's going to be a best-of-3 series between two teams of mixed members of the GGS community. GGS is an excellent community organization for North America. Or a Windrunner saying go charity. Absolutely. The Trevor Project is a fantastic organization to support, so I'm happy to get to broadcast these games for GGS. And getting back to GGS, they are a community that is dedicated to making a safe space for female-identifying, non-binary, and gender non-conforming HOTS players, which is fantastic, and the teams for each of our series today are being played by mixed groups of those community members. We can take a look at the bracket here, as there are a few different matches happening simultaneously. We will be casting the Swallowtail against Emperor series, but we've also got 3 other series happening simultaneously. There are those other channels can be found in chat, as well as using the !GGS cast command. And as soon as we are done with our series, we will be kicking over to the primary stream over on Plasticene's channel. In the meantime, and in between times, we will have our own series. So let's take a look at the Battlegrounds selection here as we get into our first lobby of the game. Alright, we are going to be heading here. Let's take a look. So there are 9 Battlegrounds available for the best-of-3 series today. The top-seeded team, Swallowtail, has opted to take us to Braxis Holdout for Game 1. Braxis Holdout, a fantastic map in a coordinated environment, just given all of the subtle rotational and vision plays that can happen. It does not follow your typical Storm League 4 in bot, 1 in top, duel to the death, which can be refreshing to see Braxis played in an alternative fashion. For those who are just tuning in now and missed the initial spiel, all donations for today's stream will be supporting the Trevor Project. You can find out how to donate using the donate command in chat. Please give if you can to support this fantastic charity. All the proceeds will be going to supporting said charity. Looks like we've got everybody in the lobby. So I'll let them know that we out here in TV land are ready to go. And we should be getting into our first draft of the series shortly. This is typically where I would tell y'all about a little bit of background that I'd researched about these teams, but as the teams were comprised of a lot of players that I haven't had the pleasure of casting before, I'll just say that I'm excited to see how they approach the draft for Braxis, as, once again, it is kind of a little bit of a different approach than your typical Storm League, get a strong duelist for top lane. But here we go, getting into it for game number 1. Alrighty. When I think of heroes for Braxis Holdout, I think of those that can rotate really seamlessly from top to bot. Your Genjis, your Medivhs, your Globals, Falstad can get a lot of value here, Brightwing as well. So I'll be interested to see if Swallowtail and Emperor have a similar read on the meta in that capacity. Genji definitely, of all the assassins, sticks out in my mind as kind of the primary ban target, given their rotational speed, their gank pressure, and their ability to kind of use Reflect to very rapidly capture the boss in the middle of the map. Chromie comes out as our first ban from the side of Swallowtail. Chromie, an excellent hero for the map given the vision control that her time traps can provide, as well as the wave clear that she brings. Her ability to anchor a lane can really help with that rotational play that we may see. Emperor taking care of one of those globals, getting Falstad out of the mix. Of course, the trick about Genji that I keep harping on is that he can be a challenging hero to play, so it may very well be that no one on either team is comfortable on the Cyber Ninja, and if that's the case, then we may not see it Kerrigan coming out. Okay, I'm going to guess that that is a target ban onto the side of Team Emperor. These players have certainly played against each other before, is my understanding. Within the GGS community, there is a best of 5. Genji ban does come through in the end. So there's a best of 5 every Friday that GGS broadcasts over on Plasticene's channel. And first pick, Brightwing. Great. So the global focus is in with the Falstad ban and the Brightwing pickup for first pick.
I stand ready.
Vala, an excellent assassin to grab. Her ability to scale and just put out solid damage in the early game make her an excellent first pick. Diablo picked up by Sauverne. Not necessarily the strongest early game from Diablo, given that his tankiness is kind of locked behind that Black Soulstone quest, but does offer a fair bit of rotational gank pressure. Last 2 picks here before the second ban, it's going to be Johanna and Junkrat. Alright, so both sides picking up 1 damage dealer. Junkrat, another fantastic hero for anti-siege in the same way that Chromie, who was banned out, is. On the side of Emperor, I would expect to see an offlane ban here, perhaps a Hogger Although, since the most recent patch... Yeah, Tyke is banned instead. Since the most recent patch, Hogger has dropped in power a wee bit, losing a lot of the rage uptime that he once enjoyed, which is important for his healing and his damage output. Next ban here, I would expect a healer ban from Swallowtail, as they have already secured one and Emperor have not. Anduin comes to mind. It's going to be TLV instead. Okay, so all in on these target bans. On the side of Swallowtail, Emperor has a bunch of tricky heroes up their sleeves, it would seem. Next two picks here, Emperor does have the benefit of last pick, so I would expect to see them hold their offlane pick till the very end here. We are likely to see healer and damage in this next slot, and there it is, Lucio and Tassadar. Paying attention to get that wave clear. So if and when the Zerg wave comes their way, they can handle it thanks to Tassadar. Last two picks from Swallowtail here. They need one more lane anchor, perhaps in the form of a traditional offlaner, a little more damage. These last two picks can be quite flexible. Braxis can support a double support sort of comp. We're not going to see it. Instead, going for Zagara and Sonya. So Zagara and Sonya both can hold a lane pretty well, as can Junkrat. They've got a lot of independence on the side of Swallowtail. Last pick for Emperor. We're looking for an offlaner that is pretty gank resistant, that can deal well with a Sonya. I think of Dahaka personally, but that's just because of my preference for the global. It's going to be Rexar instead. Rexar, an absolute powerhouse on the battleground. Not surprising to see him picked up here. His ability to hold on to the point while also soaking the lane is unparalleled. So looking at our drafts, we've got Right Wing, Johanna, Junkrat. Yeah, like I mentioned, there's a lot of independence on the side of Swallowtail. They've got a lot of sustain through the Bright Wings, kind of manaless healing, which is very helpful. But, of course, on the other side, for Emperor, they've got Great Wave Clear and the Rexar. Lucio to help speed up their rotations. It's gonna be a tough contest between the two. We'll see who takes it in the end. As we get into game one, we can introduce our teams. Here on the left, in blue, we've got Swallowtail. I'm sorry. Nope, that's not what I want. Alright, Psychopants on Junkrat, Indigo on Johanna, Moon playing Brightwing, Bird on Sonya, and Aura on the Zagara. And here on the right, in red, we've got Ambrosia on Tass, Sauverne on the Diablo, Grizzly on Vala, Calamancy on Lucio, and in the top, we've got the Rexar. So it's a 4-hero commitment to the bot lane from the side of Emperor. Swallowtail have opted for a 3-2 split, bottom and top, and we can see Aura already spreading out that creep, giving Bird and Aura both a lot of vision control and able to push in pretty handily onto Jotak. Of course, in the bot lane, Emperor are able to push as well, already scratching that front wall. Bird and Aura making a little bit better progress, however. We can see Jotak trying to get onto Aura there, but that movement speed offered by Zagara's creep is going to make it tough for Misha to catch up. And so Ambrosia's going to rotate up here to match. That's also going to give the top lane assistance in the form of clearing creep, which is going to be huge. Already a top tower down here on the bot side. So Verne, Calamancy, and Grizzly are aware of Swallowtail's start on their siege camp. We may see a invade here as the objective unlocks for the first time. Minute 30 on the clock for Braxis holdout. Grizzly getting relatively decent stacks on the auto attack Vala, already up to 15 on Creed the Hunter here. But the 3-2 split is proving a little too much for Emperor to handle. And the first objective channel will go over to Swallowtail, able to pick up a quick 22% here. They've also got additional pressure here in the bot lane thanks to the siege camp they were able to pick up. With the lane pushed out, it gives them a lot of a vision advantage, but it also makes it tough for them to contest the bot lane with 4 heroes committed by Emperor. With that said, on the top side, Swallowtail have gotten all of that front wall down. Level 4s in their hands now. We can see Indigo has opted for Subdue, a very important quest. Zagara opting for Serrated Spines. Ambrosia rotating up to help Jotak out once again. Tassadar brings a lot of wave clear and a lot of benefit. Diablo goes down. I missed it. Checking in on top lane, Grizzly falling low. So first blood going over to Swallowtail there. The Lord of Terror going down. And there's the phase shift coming in onto Bird. Moon gets a quick save. Calamancy trying to slow down the Sonya's retreat as much as possible while Aura hearths back to pick up some more mana. Their blue bar all but empty. We can see here, where is the XP? Okay, XP pretty much dead even there. A little bit of mercenary and hero experience in favor of Swallowtail. But it's not a whole heck of a lot yet in the early going of it. Checking in on top lane, it is a 3-hero commitment now. Moon likely looking for a little bit of CDR on their phase shift thanks to their level 1 hyper shift. And they will rejoin the bottom lane. Psychopants, Indigo, and Moon now pressuring Calamancy and Grizzly off, while Sauverne has rotated up to the top lane. Ambrosia has fallen very low, and there is no healing in sight for the Tassadar. So a quick 12% now going over to Emperor, but it didn't last for very long, and Swallowtail has once again recaptured. Sauverne trying to stall progress, up to 42 now in favor of Swallowtail. A 3v3 on the point. Grizzly and Sauverne both rather low. Lucio's healing output in the early game not the strongest, and Grizzly has come down to just below 10%, falling very low there. Misha will die, and that's level 7s in the hands of Swallowtail. Swallowtail, with the map choice, definitely feel like they are in solid control of this battleground for game 1. And that'll be 100% Zerg up against 12% for Team Emperor. The 3-hero commitment to bot lane will allow for Swallowtail to push relatively well. Tassadar still rotating in from the top lane, and so I expect this Zerg wave to get a lot done. Bird and Aura up top, able to make quick work of Emperor's Zerg wave. Sauverne falling very low, polymorphed there. And the fort now down past 1/2 HP. We'll see if Swallowtail are able to complete the whole building on this first push. And with that drop pod, that will do it. So first fort of the game going over to Swallowtail. Jotak continuing to deal with the dual lane pressure of Zagara Sonya. A real challenge. But they're doing an excellent job making sure that they are staying safe, not overcommitting, and ending up in the Hall of Storms. That would put their team at a huge disadvantage, as missing a whole lane of experience on a 2-lane map, even just for one wave, can set you back quite a bit. Speaking of experience, we can now see that the structure and passive XP is in favor of Swallowtail. They've gotten up to about a quarter of a level lead here in the race towards the heroic talent tier. Psychopants continuing to control vision. In addition to the vision control from Aura's Creep, they've got Psychopants with the concussive mines and steel traps. Checking in on bot lane, Bird and Jotak continue to fight it out. We'll see how much Swallowtail are able to siege with this camp and their heroics in hand. So Verne, very low, has a lot of healing stored up thanks to their level 1 Devil's Due. And it looks like Swallowtail are going to play it pretty reserved here. Grizzly stepping up quite far to Indigo there. I wouldn't be surprised to see them rip the Blessed Shield. Of course, Swallowtail's damage profile isn't the fastest, so it may be more of a counter-engage Blessed Shield attempt. Heroics on both sides. We've got Blessed Shield, Blink Heal, Maw, Leap, and Riptire, and on the other side, it's High Five, Unleash the Boars, Rain of Vengeance, Lightning Breath, and Tassadar still holding. Jotak makes the rotation up and unleashes the Boars. All of Swallowtail too close to the wall. Oh my gosh, the leap in will take out Grizzly, and a Maw catches Ambrosia. They receive the High Five, they've fallen very low, and it will be another 2 kills going over to Swallowtail. Psychopants looking for additional damage with the Riptire, unable to find any further takedowns. So Verne has completed their Black Soulstone quest, so they are at peak tank ability, but with only a Lucio to back them up, it is going to be tough for them to contest that point. Swallowtail grab both. There's the Lightning Breath just to push back the side of Swallowtail. Grizzly onto the point here, trying to slow down this objective capture. Psychopants fishing for a concussive blast there. Blessed Shield up in another 5 seconds. And a full level lead now in favor of Swallowtail thanks to those hero kills. We can see Sonya making their rotation up to the top lane. Oh my gosh, Tassadar didn't last as long as it took for the rotation to happen. Bird looking for Soverne here, gets the Ancient Spear. Calamancy in for the High Five. Maybe their undoing. Jotak takes the bot lane once again, stalling Swallowtail's progress just at 42%. But of course, this top fort is going to fall to the continued pushing pressure of the Zagara and Junkrat. They've got so much wave clear. Phase shift in onto Bird and a quick chase onto Misha. They will make it out alive. And Calamancy is onto top point. Level 13's just around the corner for Swallowtail here. Emperor still on the search. They're going to be able to relieve some of the intermittent catapult pressure in top with that siege camp. But of course, Swallowtail gets the reciprocal camp. Down 13, Soverne goes in onto Moon. There's the Lightning Breath onto Bird, followed up by the the Unleash the Boars. Misha's stun as well, but in the end, Bird able to make it out alive. Emperor have committed all 5 heroes here to the bot lane, while Aura cleans up that top camp on Zagara. Bird gets the spear in onto Grizzly with their level 7 poison spear that does a fair bit of damage. Aura making their rotation now. Level 13's just online for Team Emperor. They're down some heroics, however. Blessed Shield goes wide. Indigo does not make the connection there and finds a stun from Diablo. Bird in onto 2, followed up by the Maw. Misha will fall. Psychopants gets the Riptire going and will take out Ambrosia. Tassadar back to the Hall of Storms. Oh my gosh, Grizzly falling very low, but they do have the vault out. So Verne unlikely to make the same escape, and that will be Soul's reset for the Lord of Terror. Calamancy wastes no time in rotating up to the top, trying to stall the objective progress once again. Tassadar still 3 seconds from spawning here. Sonya able to make the rotation through terrain thanks to their level 13 Mystical Spear. All terrain crossing abilities very helpful here on Braxis. Bird getting some cheeky percent, now up to 84 on the side of Swallowtail. And they've got Moon pushing out this bottom wave. They no doubt have their global available, and they've pushed this camp up onto the keep wall. Swallowtail doing an excellent job continuing to play the map, while Emperor are having trouble finding that clean engagement that a Diablo comp really thrives with. Calamancy able to sneak down to the bot lane and pick up a cheeky 8% there. Lucio's speedy rotations, thanks to their innate movement speed, helpful on that front. Level 16s now, just around the corner, the next talent tier to unlock for Swallowtail. There it is. So Verne hasn't been scouted. Oh, okay. Psychopants will make it out without trouble. There's the Blessed Shield, followed up by the leap. Tassadar falls again. They keep finding the Protoss. Oh my gosh, so much damage onto Soverne. Soverne will fall. They did not have souls. 2 heroes down. I expect we'll see Swallowtail start up the boss. Indigo is directly onto it, while Moon sets up to continue the objective progress. They'll phase shift in, so it's going to be a full Zerg wave and a boss pushing here. The boss picks lanes the same way that the Immortal on Battlefield of Eternity does, so I think bottom lane is the most damaged, which would put the bosses going top along with the Zerg wave. And it looks like Swallowtail are positioning to end with this push, not committing anyone to defend that bot lane. We'll see if it's an overcommitment or if that talent tier, the boss, and the Zerg wave will be enough for Swallowtail to take it here in our first game of the best of 3. Maw catches the Lucio. That's a big issue. Followed up by the leap. Bird is right there. No healer now on the side of Emperor. Soverne down below 100 HP. Top keep goes down. Boss and Zergwave both still very healthy. Jotak under threat here. They will be taken out by Bird. Soverne trying to draw as much fire as they can to keep the core alive, but it's not gonna do it. In the end, Swallowtail's superior map control wins the day, and so that will do it for Game 1. GG and well played. So Game 1 going over to Team Swallowtail. In the early going, they just had that lane dominance with the 2-3 split. The Zagara doing an absolute monster of a job pressuring that top lane. Jotak had a tough time dealing with that 2-hero commitment. Grizzly asking about if there's a sub button. There is no sub button. I am not an affiliate, and so I cannot receive subscribers. But if you're looking for a way to support the stream, feel free to follow. If you're looking for a way to support the charity drive, you can check out the donation link at !donate. Let's take a look at our post-game stats. We can see Zagara Aura top of the lobby, 57,000, I'm sorry. Damage done. Likely that is due in large part to their level 16 talent, Corrosive Saliva, a absolute massive damage spike for Zagara. They were also able to hit Misha all game, which helps a lot to padding your damage numbers. Anything out of the ordinary from the builds? Nothing too strange here. Psychopants opting for a full trap build on Junkrat. I think Junkrat was one of the heroes affected in the latest patch. You can double check me on that if you want with !patch in chat. So there you have it. Game 1 in the books. Very strong play from the side of Swallowtail. We'll see if Emperor are able to take it to a third game as we take a look at the remaining battlegrounds available to our teams. If I'm the side of Emperor... Actually, you know, I'm not sure who picked that map. I assumed it was Swallowtail. It was, in fact, Emperor, now that I remember who had last pick. Let me update that. There we go. So, Swallowtail opted for first pick last time round. Emperor, having just lost that game, means that they'll get to pick between first pick and map pick. Given how strong the draft from Swallowtail was, I would expect to see Emperor pick first pick this time around. It is a pretty strong advantage, especially on certain battlegrounds. I'm hoping for, as far as battleground selection is concerned, I'm hoping for a Dragonshire. I think Swallowtail did a great job rotating and splitting their lanes. So if Emperor do in fact opt for first pick, I would love to see Swallowtail take us to Dragonshire. Of course, I think with how confident Swallowtail's rotations and lane splits were, it might be in Emperor's best interest to opt for map pick and pick a map that is a little less reliant on those alternate lane rotations. Something a little bit smaller, like Tomb of the Smiter Queen, might benefit them a little bit more. Check in here. Okay. No lobby just yet. For those who tuned in the middle of Game 1, welcome. Excited to have you. Thanks for tuning in to watch this great event. Girls Gank Squad doing a fundraising charity for the Trevor Project. You can find out more about GGS with the !GGS command in chat, as well as more info on this great charity with !Trevor. Their primary goal is suicide prevention among LGBTQIA+ youth. It is a fantastic mission to support. So if you can donate, I would strongly ask that you do. Give anything that you can. No amount is too small. Alright, and we are indeed headed to Tomb of the Spider Queen, as chosen by Swallowtail. Very interesting. So I would have expected that choice from Emperor. Perhaps Swallowtail know a little something that I don't. This is a map, once again, where wave clear is of paramount importance. Not only for a quick collection of gems for your own attempted turn-in, but in mitigating the power that your opponent's turn-in can have. So we could very well see the Junkrat again, the Tassadar again. Ambrosia did have some trouble staying alive with those leaps in from Bird. I'll be interested to see if Emperor want to ban that Sonya out as we approach this second game. Draft is up, so let's get into it. first ban from Emperor. Last time they opted for Falstad, Genji, Tychus. Falstad and Genji and Tychus, all generalist heroes, can get a lot of value no matter where they slot in. But none of those three are real wave clear powerhouses. So I'd be a little surprised to see Emperor stick with it, instead opting for the Junkrat ban. I think that makes a lot of sense. Psychopants performed very well on the hero, and the vision control that Junkrat offers around the turn-ins and the safe stall that Junkrat offers around the turn-ins makes them a top choice for many teams on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Swallowtail last time round opted for some pretty targeted bans with the Chromie. There it is again. Chromie Kerrigan TLB last time round. I would argue that Tomb of the Spider Queen is an even better battleground for Kerrigan than the Braxis first game, so Brightwing. Alright. The Brightwing ban, I think, makes a lot of sense. Moon was doing a fantastic job with their polymorphs and their global saves with the phase shift. So Emperor switching up the bans for the second game, trying to pick out some of those problem areas from game one. We'll see if Swallowtail sticks with the Kerrigan ban here in this first round. They will indeed. So I suspect it really is a scary Kerrigan player. First pick Johanna, not surprising to see it picked up in the first slot there. She's a phenomenal hero with her ability to scale. She brings wave clear from the tank position. It's a great pickup for Tomb. Next two picks here for Swallowtail. Would love to see them pick up a healer. And they will. It is Anduin and Sylvanas. Okay. Sylvanas does bring some wave clear starting at level 4 with Unstable Poison. Emperor could double down on the wave clear from their non-traditional roles with a Rhaegar here. I would like to see them pick up a healer before this next round of bans, as the hero pool is starting to narrow a bit. They will indeed. So it's Blaze Rhaegar. Wave clear abounds on the side of Emperor. It makes the map a whole heck of a lot more straightforward to play. The level of execution that your comp requires decreases significantly the more wave clear you pile into it. So I like that approach from the side of Emperor. Swallowtail have only damage to pick from here in this next ban phase. They're going to opt for the Vala ban, targeting Grizzly on that hero. Grizzly did have some solid performance in game 1. Ambrosia ended up being the target of many of Swallowtail's engages, so perhaps Swallowtail trying to push the other DPS player onto a less comfortable role. There's the Diablo ban. Thank you for the donation, $10, we appreciate it. Alright, there is the Leoric, a great pickup into Johanna and Blaze. And Tomb, very difficult for Johanna to deal with if she doesn't go Falling Sword there. And a new Barak. Okay. So, frontline a little bit light on hit points on the side of Swallowtail. We'll see how Emperor look to take advantage of that with these last two picks. If they have any comfort on Hanzo or a Greymane, both of these heroes can be tough for Anubarak and Leo to deal with. Jaina picked up for the wave clear, and a Butcher from Grizzly. Okay, not what I would have expected. Very exciting pick here. Do Swallowtail have an answer in this final pickup? Psychopants was on the Junkrat last game. I'd expect to see a similar long-range wave clear focused hero. Tassadar is still available. It's going to be Genji instead. Okay. So let's take a look at these drafts as we get into game number 2. Everybody swaps around and loads in. So on the side of Swallowtail, they have considerably less wave clear than Team Emperor. That alone, I think, is going to help Emperor a lot in this second game. I really prefer Emperor's draft to that of Swallowtail. Of course, Anduin does offer some good saves, so the Blessed Shield engage from Johanna isn't, strictly speaking, going to be the cleanest, but with a Jaina Butcher, the timing on those leaps of faith are going to have to be spot on. So we'll see how it shakes out here as we get into game 2. If Swallowtail is able to close it out in a clean 2-0, or Emperor will take it in the end. Let's see, we've got Bird on Leoric, Aura playing Sylvanas, Anduin for Moon, Indigo on Anubarak, and Psychopants playing Genji. And to the right in red, we've got Emperor. Grizzly on the Butcher, Ambrosia playing Jaina, Calamancy on Rhaegar, Sauvernay on Johanna, and Jotak playing Blaze. We can take a look at our level 1 talents as we get in here. It is chop meat for Grizzly at level 1. The wave clear talent for Butcher, I think it makes a lot of sense. Ambrosia has opted for Lingering Chill. And Swallowtail taking the first clear on the wave. Emperor playing it very safe there. So despite having more wave clear, they do not get that first clear. That's going to give Swallowtail a rotational advantage here for a while. Sauvernay finding Psychopants and Indigo in the bush there. Of course, they want to play safely so that Grizzly can get their meat stacked up. Sauvernay no longer has the Iron Skin, so that will be first blood going over to Swallowtail. Johanna had used that all-important trait in the early going to get into that top bush. We'll see how Swallowtail take advantage of this early power play. We've got Moon and Aura getting started on their Bruiser Camp. Emperor doing the same with Calamancy and Ambrosia both picking that up. So good to see Emperor aren't being passive on the map. That is an interesting angle that I hadn't thought about with the Butcher pickup. It is in Emperor's best interest to have the meat spawn on their half of the lane. And so, in spite of having that superior wave clear, it might be more advantageous for them in the long run to let the waves come to them. Jotak taking a lot of punishment from Bird here down in the bot lane. Of course, Emperor are able to sneak that first turn in. That's another thing that having superior wave clear can buy you. They're able to get that camp out and 15 gems in. We'll see if Swallowtail are able to leverage this lane here now that they've got their Bruiser Camp pushing. Bird making the rotation up. Cleanse committed for Grizzly. And there's the Iron Skin for Sauvernay. No Unstoppable available. It is a 5-hero commitment to the mid lane. Jotak had to Hearth back, and so it was a relatively free rotation. Oh my gosh, all the CC out onto Grizzly. An amazing body block from Indigo. They're able to sneak by it there. There's the charge in, and they're able to secure some fresh meat. Moon falling very low here. Calamancy gets the last bite in, and Grizzly gets another set of 20 meat. All the way up to 90 already, towards that all-important 200 number. Of course, at 200, Butcher no longer loses meat upon death and unlocks a huge auto attack boost. Both, I believe, in speed and power. So that auto attack damage is kind of the all-important mark for Grizzly here on the Butcher. Level 7s almost here for Emperor. Those 2 kills putting them ahead in the race towards the heroic talent tier as well. Calamansi gets the bite in onto Indigo. We'll see how aggressive our Rhaegar player continues to be throughout this game. Level 7's online, and that'll unlock Ice Flows for Ambrosia, giving them a lot of CDR on their Cone of Cold, able to kind of shotgun out that wide area of damage. Grizzly, once again, dropping some gems. Both teams now with enough to turn in for an objective phase. It's going to be tricky for Swallowtail to get turn-ins, however. Psychopants able to sneak one in top lane. Leoric will fall. Bird doesn't lose too many gems, but it will give Emperor another power play. So Verne trying to zone as much as they can here. Calamansi will back them up, and that gives Emperor the first turn-in. Stun out onto Indigo. Grizzly commits. No, they'll back up just before reaching tower range and doing an excellent job focusing on getting these waves prepped before their Webweavers spawn. Level 7's on both sides now. That's going to unlock the Desperate Prayer for Moon, able to potentially get some more saves now that they've got both their repositioning, cleanse, and their burst heal at level 7. 4 hero commitment to the top lane. We've got Swallowtail splitting 3, 1, and 1. So Verne gets the slow onto Aura, able to get the absolute last-minute short hop with their Haunting Wave. An excellent use of that Unstoppable from the Sylvanas player. Really heads up rotation of spells there. Checking in on mid lane, the fort front wall has gone down. Top lane has taken a fair bit of damage. Of course, bot has fared pretty well. Bird able to dissuade Jotak from pushing too heavily in that bot lane, thanks to the percentage damage that they can leverage onto Blaze's meaty HP pool. So Swallowtail are going to get some more gems turned in. Aura has enough in the bank to unlock this objective phase. Of course, Emperor is able to defend 2 out of the 3 lanes relatively passively now that they've unlocked both of those mercenary camps. The siege camp will do a lot to slow down the Webweaver push for the side of Swallowtail in bottom lane, as well as this Bruiser camp here in mid. I'd love to see them defending it a bit, but instead they've committed to the top lane pretty heavily, taking out that Webweaver before it even gets past the 50 line on the lane. Level 10s has unlocked a heroic talent tier on both sides. Jotak gets a big stun onto 2, followed up by the Blessed Shield. Jotak is falling very low. The bunker's already out. They're going to fall here if they don't receive the Ancestral's already been used. There's the web onto Ambrosia, followed up by the Silence, trying to peel for their Jaina, but Grizzly's Land of the Slaughter will not result in any further kills. So 2 unanswered on the side of Swallowtail, 3 and 3 the total kill count here. Mid-fort goes down thanks to those takedowns and a huge momentum swing in favor of Swallowtail there. Of course, we are very close to Grizzly getting fully stacked here, just 9 minion kills away from their huge power spike of their quest completion. So Verne trying to prevent this next round of turn-ins. Swallowtail have enough in the pockets to turn in once again. Entomb is available. Bird spooking in, looking for it. And there is the quest complete for Grizzly on the Butcher. Another set of gems going in. Aura will be able to unlock the next objective phase here. And Emperor do not have enough heroes in range to prevent the turn-in. We can see them committing all 5 here to the bot side of the map. Calamansi alone in the bush here. Jotak trying to prep this mid lane. Moon out on an island absolutely in the middle of nowhere. drop the light bomb. It's not enough. There's the Anubarak kill. A little bit of a late usage of the Wailing Arrow means that none survived the engage from Emperor. Look for those snap engagements as often as possible. Emperor are likely to be doing the same. We still have Entomb available. Catching 2 here. Calamancy does have Ancestral available. The Bunker is also available. Genji X-strikes onto it. Aura falling very low here. Caught by Soverne. There's the slow. The Lightning Shield from Calamancy will clean them up. Bird is next. No neat pickup for the Butcher, but a hearty XP lead now in favor of Team Emperor, a full level, as they look for the next talent tier at level 16. 13's online for both teams. Checking in on the Butcher build from Grizzly, that's unlocked Savage Charge. They're able to do percentage damage when they connect with that. Oh my god, a stun train onto Leoric. Psychopants goes in, Grizzly thinks better of it. Able to Swift Strike out after the Cyber Agility in. Genji's mobility, one of their stronger suits. And there's the completion on the level 4. Oh my god. Oh, a little bit of a miscommunication there. The Unstoppable from Johanna blocks the Light Bomb. Jotak in on the back. Lots of damage in onto Moon. Jotak is falling low. They are able to commit the Bunker. In the end, the Jaina does go down. Lots of damage onto Jotak. They will fall. It's 2 for 2 in the engagement. Soverne falling very low. There's another kill. Emperor will fall here. Grizzly trying their best to heal up on Bird and doing some damage to Aura. They're almost going to clutch it. Wow. Psychopants able to finish it out in the end. An absolute brawl of a team fight. But in the end, the economy of both teams taking a big hit there. Heroics flying on both sides. I thought it was a bit of a botched engage in the early going of it when the Light Bomb didn't connect onto Johanna, but Emperor weren't able to sustain through all of the Sylvanas and Genji damage. Level 16's just around the corner here. Swallowtail have caught up with those late game kills a bit, so they won't be behind for terribly long. Leoric has opted for Spectral Leech at 13, so expect to see Mithril Mace at level 16, going for that full auto attack build. Leoric has shown in top lane, so Verne looking for the deep flank here. Jotak is backing them up. Grizzly unable to get the stun before Indigo gets their Burrow Charge out to safety. Level 16's on both sides now. That has unlocked Epicenter for Indigo. It's a important talent tier for Anubarak. They're able to put a lot more pressure with the extended hitbox of their stuns. Aura committing the black arrows here. And here we've got Psychopants and Bird stalling rotations. Jotak's jet propulsion goes wide. So top 4 taking a lot of damage with a bit of an over-rotation from Emperor down to the bot lane. Emperor do have enough gems for the next objective phase. They've already turned in 35 of them, but their waves are in a pretty rough state with all of their outer structures taken down. There's the stun onto Psychopants. They receive the... Oh my gosh. So many heroics flying on all sides. There's the bunker onto the blaze. Wailing Arrow onto 2. Johanna's falling low, able to receive the Ancestral. Indigo is falling low. Johanna's the first to fall. There's the kill onto Anubarak. Grizzly stacks up another 10 meat. So 1 for 1. The Entomb doesn't catch any of Emperor there. So trading tank for tank there. Ambrosia trying to look for the next turn-in. There's the... Oh my god. Psychopants doesn't make it out of this one alive. There's the bunker. So another kill going over to Team Emperor. Lots of discipline holding the bunker for that long. Silverbell donating $25 to the cause. Thank you for your donation, Silverbell. We appreciate it, as does the Trevor Project. Emperor, with this power play, are able to get their turn in and proc boss. So this is a pretty big push for them. Definitely what they need to get back into it. I expect to see a lot of pressure applied here to the top lane while they leave mid and bot just to kind of take care of themselves. As I say that, of course, Jotak has Hearth back. Jotak is not with the team, so this is 4v4 for now. Psychopants is making the rotation in. It's difficult for Emperor to step up. Indigo putting a lot of pressure just with their long-range burrow charge engagement. So it's just going to be a fort taken out for Emperor in spite of both the objective and the boss. We can see they're looking for the rotation here. All of Emperor catching Swallowtail, trying to take a expeditious rotation. In the end, Moon and Aura have to take the safe rotation, and so that means mid-fort will go down there. So structural parity in 2 lanes for the side of Emperor here. Still a little bit ahead on experience. They are not rotating down for this bot lane. Bird has already taken care of the Web Weaver. Grizzly now up to 280 meat. They've opted for Enraged at level 16, a pretty common pickup at that talent tier. Juggernaut plating for Jotak at 16, trying to withstand all of that. Indigo hasn't spouted any of these bushes. Moon is going to fall. No control of the vision there means Anduin was up the river without a paddle. Indigo committed their burrow charge earlier. They will have it again to escape. Aura doing their best to turn in 7. A bit of an odd timing on that one, but I guess they saw a free moment and they took it. Never punished. Fantastic play from Emperor, doing a great job to be patient as the Anubarak walked by them in the bush. So Verne and Grizzly both holding their engage for a juicier target, able to blow up Moon before the light bomb went off. Swallowtail do still have some heroics available to them. Aura and Psychopants both have their heroics, which can do a lot of damage and put a lot of pressure on Emperor. But the lanes, once again, are kind of not in their favor. They gotta send Jotak back to take care of this bottom lane. Storm talents on both sides now. Anubarak has opted for Rewind, Censure for Anduin, Storm Shield, it's called Blinded by the Light for Johanna. No turn in for either side. Land of the Slaughter is up, but they're not the only hero with a big AoE silence. Buried Alive for Leoric, another big power spike. So both teams in a really tough spot here. Game is very close to even. Bot lane definitely favors Swallowtail thanks to that intermittent catapult pressure. But if Emperor is able to find another out of vision spooky engage, like they found onto Moon, that could be curtains for Swallowtail. They're doing a much better job checking these bushes, scouting Ambrosia and Sauverne in that bottom side of the top turn-in. Jotak is showing in the bottom lane, and so this is going to give Swallowtail the opportunity to press forward, get a bit of a vision advantage, and Bird is going to be relieved to drop off these 37 gems. Having been a Leoric player with lots of gems, it doesn't feel good. You don't get to have that trait value, and everyone wants trait value. All right, Psychopants just needs to pick up 2 more gems, and they'll have secured enough for a turn-in. Emperor already able to turn in here, just 1 away. So Verne looking for an opportunity to use that Blessed Shield. Grizzly trying to get mid lane pushing. Jotak is getting some gems in. A little bit of a collapse onto Emperor. They are able to retreat to relative safety. So mid lane in favor of Swallowtail, top lane in favor of Emperor there. So Verne a bit ahead of the team here. Grizzly unmolested, able to get their gems in. So bot lane not in a great spot for Swallowtail, but they're able to push out mid and top. So that'll put pressure onto both keep walls. Would love to see them just commit all 5 heroes here. Bot lane will be a little bit of a waste, but in the end, I think getting as much as you can out of this late game objective makes sense. Getting a keep down would be a huge benefit for the side of Emperor. Of course, it is difficult to siege into structures with a melee assassin comp. Grizzly has to step up really far to apply pressure to these structures. Of course, if they're able to get some kills, Emperor will be able to rip through buildings. Once Butcher is connected with those structures, they do a heck of a lot of damage there. No one willing to commit their heroics. Keep front wall goes down in mid. Keep front wall has also gone down. Keep itself down to about half. Loving how Emperor are pushing here with that split. Top keep receives a lot of pressure. There's the light bomb in onto Grizzly. Ambrosia still the target. They get caught there and they will fall. So Jaina falls. A big silence lands onto the rest of them. Grizzly gets a huge silence lands to the slaughter. Grizzly's falling low, however. There's the Ancestral. It is double Ancestral, so Verne will fall here. So 2 kills for nothing in favor of Swallowtail. And no keep secured either. That's a tough one. Psychopants trying to get the dismounts here onto Jotak and Grizzly, seeing if the rest of Swallowtail can catch up. Bot lane was able to push through that fort and apply a little bit of pressure to the keep front gate. Of course, this is another opportunity for Swallowtail to get that boss turn-in combination. Aura dropping the gems while Psychopants, Indigo, and Moon take care of the boss. They've also got Bird doing a great job to get these lanes pushing in their favor. Would love to see Bird stick around for another mid-wave with that objective in it. They have opted for Paralyzing Rage at level 4 rather than the Meal Peasants, so they don't do any extra damage to that mercenary camp. Once Johanna spawns, I think we can expect a full 5 hero commitment by both sides here on the top lane. It is a much stronger push on the side of Swallowtail. Bird rips the Entomb onto 3. There's the follow-up with the Light Bomb. A huge X-Strike, and that's going to do it. Oh my gosh, the carnage is immense. Ambrosia gets a good Ring of Frost, but Bird is on to the Jaina, just now completing their Ice Block. It's just in time. They will escape. Of course, with Jotak and Grizzly down, it's still a tall order. Psychopants getting a reset on the X-Strike thanks to their level 20 living weapon. And the boss and Webweaver have connected on core. This is going to do it. In the end, it is a clean 2-0 going in favor of Team Swallowtail. Emperor made an excellent show of it there as we got into it for the second game. It was very close, but in the end, Swallowtail able to take it 2-0. I was excited when the Butcher pick came through, and I've got to say, Grizzly did a fantastic job on the hero. The whole team, I would say, played around that pick very well, but in the end, those late-game team fights were very challenging to navigate. Swallowtail, I think, scaled a little bit better to 20. The Light Bomb Genji delivery service, also always a challenging tool to deal with for any team. So in the end, it is a 2-0 in favor of Swallowtail. We can take a look at our post-game stats here. Aura pumping out the damage on Sylvanas, as was Bird on the Leoric. doing a lot of pressure onto the front line with that auto attack build. So Verne on Johanna, top of the charts for Emperor. Johanna is a DPS as well as a tank. You can't convince me otherwise. And that is thanks largely to the build we see here, the double blind at level 1, paired with hammers at 13 and blind CDR at 16. You're able just to output so much damage with a wave clearing tank. It's kind of busted. Wasn't busted enough for the win, however. Luminaire thanking me for the cast. Absolutely happy to do it. Let's get to our post-series screen here and do a little bit of talk before I sign off. We're already up to a great start. We've got $3.10 and 69 cents donated towards our $1,000 goal. It is a nice number to have achieved here after just the first round. And please do stick around. I'll raid us over to the main channel. We can see if Plasticine is still in the middle of commentary for the first round, or if they are just waiting for that second round of the bracket. Let me see if any of the match reporting happened. All right. Great, so Dotlined able to take it 2-0 over Monarch, and we, of course, able to take it with Swallowtail 2-0 over Emperor. So let's take a look at our bracket before we get out of here. So we've already got our next series on this side of the bracket decided. It will be Swallowtail up against Dotlined. That series is not scheduled until after the upper half of the bracket's semifinal, and all of the semifinal bracket and finals will be happening over on twitch.tv/PlastiCineX. So stick around if you want to catch what remains of Cinnabar against Pipevine. Another donation of $75. A big thank you. We are skyrocketing through our milestones. It is thrilling to see all this community support for such an amazing charity. So thank you all again for that. It was a quick 2-0. I gotta say, Swallowtail looked fantastic on Braxis. I loved Emperor's comp for Game 2, and they were doing a great job getting those picks. It was just those late game fights that made it tricky to get through it. I'm excited to see how Swallowtail match up against Team Dotlined as we get into the next semifinal. I'll be commentating with Limebus, potentially around 6. And another donation, Leah donating another $20. Thank you so much for the donation, Leah. We appreciate all the support for this phenomenal charity. And that's going to do it for me. Before I go, a few more shout-outs. A big shout-out to GGS. They've done a fantastic job organizing this tournament, and I'm thrilled to be a part of it. Would highly recommend anyone who has an interest in getting involved with their community to do so. Message Snarfungus on Twitter or Discord to get more information about joining up. I also want to give a huge shout out to everyone who tuned in, everyone who donated. The whole reason we're doing it is to support the Trevor Project, so your views and donations are why we're here. We thank you so much for all of them. And last but not least, a huge shout out to all of the artists, musicians, and programmers whose work I feature here on the stream. It wouldn't look or sound half as good without their work. You can check out all of that below. I've got links to all of their work, as well as a credit roll coming up here at the end. So stick around for a raid over to Plasticine. Thank you so much. Until the second semifinal, good luck, have fun, peace and love.